So
You had to eat before the podcast.
yeah, that's how I
I
get my
don't,
fuel.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
What do you mean you don't believe me?
You made us wait 17 minutes because you wanted to eat some eggs. Is that what?
It wasn't 17 minutes.
It was 17 minutes. You probably
Oh,
who you making eggs for, Kirk?
no, it's just me on this one. It was eggs, Eggos, and bacon. And the bacon had to be preheated, and that took a little bit.
Wait,
Preheated and cooked? What do you
yeah,
mean?
what? Isn't the whole thing heating it?
No, like you preheat, not preheat. You preheat the oven, and that takes a while to get to
Oh,
400.
I got it.
Then you put the bacon in.
Okay.
You guys are goofs. Proper Ebonics. People, first off, it's Saturday. You may already know that. We have a guest. You may already know that as well. That guest's Tyler Rothrock.
Hello.
In the building.
Yes, thank you, folks, for having me. It's great to be here on Proper Ebonics. First
Welcome
time.
to Proper
This is my
Ebonics,
first.
yeah.
Wait, is this my first appearance? I
This
think I
is.
appeared once before.
Were you?
I don't think so.
Maybe not. This is my debut.
I think this. Yeah, this. I think this is the debut.
This is my debut.
Was there an episode that I wasn't on that
Oh,
Tyler subbed for me?
there was. It was the 17 minutes before you got here. That was.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Let me tell you about satellites in
You guys did a
space.
mini episode.
That was my dude. That did make this whole world like we were talking about wild shit, and then Kirk was like, "Hey, do you guys know each other?" Like, yeah, dude. Like, what do you think of me? That like, I'm just that weird conspiracy theorist guy that will get any type of like crowd and be like, "All right, what I know is we got too many satellites out there," and
I don't know what's been fueling you lately. I don't know. That could be just on your mind. You may be preoccupied with satellites and just want to spread the word.
yeah.
Do you imagine the confidence he has to have to like not know someone and go that route though? You know what I mean?
I don't know that if you don't know somebody and then you say things that you don't know either. Like I don't know the amount of satellites. I've never counted these things.
Right. You don't even. Most people talk about the weather with strangers. You don't just skip the atmosphere. And go
Yeah,
fast.
Imagine getting in an elevator with somebody and they're like, that's what they say. Like, what floor? Like, I don't know. You know how many fucking satellites are up there whizzing around?
Right.
If you're enthused enough, and why not? I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like you gotta let your thing off, sort of thing.
I get it.
I know. Obviously, Alan and I know each other for years and all that stuff. Tyler, we've known each other for years and all that stuff.
Mhm.
It always feels like fusing of worlds.
Yeah.
When I see people from different areas, because I don't think I've ever seen either of you in the same room.
I've known Tyler for years too.
Yeah. This is what.
That's where
Do you know
guys
us? Do you
each
know
other?
us, Kirk? Or you?
I want to
yeah.
know. I want to know about
Kirk.
your two's relationship. That's what
I think I might have seen Alan more lately than I've seen you.
Damn. That's a possibility. True.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in about a year.
Here Kirk is thinking he's fusing our worlds, and we've fused his world this whole
Right.
time.
Kirk, you're the guest.
Oh my goodness. It's so great to be here on Proper Ebonics.
Damn, look how fat I am.
That's
I got so
Oh, yeah.
fat. I haven't seen myself in a screen like this in a while.
You
It's
look handsome. You look like a pet boy.
Yeah, dude.
You look,
Not a compliment.
you look. How is that not a compliment? They're
Yeah, it
like
doesn't
offer
feel
great
good.
service.
Pep boy?
Yeah, pet boy.
You look like a
Look at-
mechanic. No.
Yeah. Well,
They're
I
not-
look like I
they're-
live off breakfast sandwiches my whole life.
Pet boys, man. They're good representation of the automobile world.
That's true.
And they're also. I don't know if they're fully the mechanics. I think they're just the representation of the mechanics. They're always happy.
They're the faces of the industry.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and Tyler, I've seen Tyler. I think I seen you at the last Arts Quest, not the Arts Quest, the Music
Music
Fest.
Fest.
Comedy plots. Yeah.
Ah,
Music
yeah.
Fest. I see you there every year.
Yeah.
I will be seeing Tyler March 29th, apparently.
Myrtle Beach, dude. I'm going on to
Myrtle
Myrtle Beach.
Beach.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? I didn't know you
Yeah,
had.
Nice.
I went to college down there for like 45 minutes. And then you can't go to class if there's the beach. So, but I have some friends down there.
Oh,
That's
nice.
wild.
Yeah.
Tyler, for those, and apparently I may be of those that are not familiar. Where did you start comedy?
In Philly, my first time ever was at Helium, but then like I was living in Bethlehem. So there, I think a mic started like kind of like right when I started. There was like this little like boom of comedy. So what was it called? Bethlehem Brew Works had a thing back in the day.
Oh yeah, Feckley's.
Yeah, Fegley's Brewers. And then there was a show. There was a show at the Allentown Brew Works, like a book show. And like if you got on that to me at the time, I was like, oh, this is making comedy. I'm booked on a show. People paid to see me.
Yeah.
And then little did we know that the comedy world is much bigger than 5 minutes at Allentown.
That is always a nice start though. Like when you're starting somewhere, you're doing mics around area, and you know that there's one show that you'd like to get on, and you see flyers for it, and like some of the comics from other mics there, and then getting booked on it. That is like a supreme feeling though.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels good.
That's literally what I do nowadays. Like I do that. I look at shows, but I want to get on that show. Do what I gotta do to get on that show. It never stops.
It never stops, and it won't. Like even like. Somebody who was just at Madison Square Garden, but it's like they did that same thing. They needed to get booked. So it's like it's never gonna stop.
Huh.
You know? This is what we're gonna have to do for the rest of our existence.
It's not a bad chase.
No, it's fun.
Not a bad chase. That was Tickle Me Tuesdays, is that correct?
Tickle Me Tuesdays, that's what it was, yeah.
Yeah, that was you have a similar trajectory in that like one of the first mics I ever did was in Philadelphia. And then moving to Kutztown, I started doing a lot more comedy in that area. Yeah. And it was the same thing. I was like, oh, we'll do a lot of mics. And then the show that I happened to get on was a Steel Stacks one. Nice. But it was similar, where it was like, I didn't know of any other shows around the area. But it was like, oh, okay, it would be kind of cool to end up on that. So like once that happens, it's like, oh, all right, it's a good feeling.
Yeah, it's cool. It's good. In the beginning, like when you first get booked, it's such a good feeling because you're like, oh, somebody other than my friends think I'm okay at this.
I think one of the good things, I think all of us went through this. Like we kind of didn't come up in the big comedy scenes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was a little bit more forgiving. Like people that like start comedy in New York, it's tough because you don't know anything. You were terrible at comedy. But like when you start off on like a smaller scene, it gives you the ability to grow and learn things.
Yeah. You figure out what it's like to like and the time you do, like you're more comfortable doing a little bit longer than like I know like people when I moved to New York, there were some people when I moved there that had just started stand up there. And I was like, damn, dude, you're starting like with these 2-minute bucket mics in front of just comics. Like, how do you get to 7 minutes at that rate, you know? But they do, you know, it's just a different way to do it.
You gotta be built for that. You gotta be built. I think I'm not saying it definitely can work. Going to start in New York or starting in LA, it can work. But I just feel like, you know, for me, I was able to, like you said, get more time. I was able to get more time on the mics. It was more free. A lot of the open mics have actual people. So it's like
it's like how many of us are in cities? Like there's a version of all of us. There's probably like 50 of me, 50 of you in a city. That if you start just doing like New York City material, you know, that's been there. But like you take your perspective from starting comedy where you did and take it there, you kind of sound a little different and you kind of stick out.
Yeah.
That way we're like, oh, that person, they're not just doing like Subway joke. You know what I mean? Like they're talking about shit that affected them growing up. And they're like,
they're talking about Wawa versus Sheets. Yeah. They're coming to the mic talking about Wawa versus Sheets.
Wait, also, can I get your are you pro
team on? I'm on I gotta go overall Wawa, but I'm not opposed to Sheets. Once being in Central PA for a few months, it was like, oh, Sheets actually isn't bad.
You're bipartisan.
I would say more bipartisan with it, but if I had to lean one way, if I had to vote on that day, I'm going with Wawa.
You're Wawa leaning. What about you, Alan?
Yeah, I'm from Philly, so I gotta go Wawa. You know what I mean? Like I just grew up on the classic turkey and cheese. That's just what I grew up on. Like Sheets is cool in a convenience situation, but like I think Sheets is dog trash. Like I think I think it's terrible, bro. Like
that's not bipartisan at all.
No, you mean
that's a smear campaign?
A breakfast steak burrito from a gas station?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sheets is only superior, I think, late night.
Right. Convenience. Like it's the only thing. The food I don't think is good. Like
they have a fryer, so I'll give them that. If like you're into fried food, but at the same time, it's like, oh, they have a fryer, so maybe on that end too.
Dude, that's how you tell somebody is from Central Pennsylvania is that they love Sheets. Like that is like the thing that. Like I see one lady one time complaining about her taco, and I was like, "It's a gas station."
Yeah, it's a gas station. Like, you get gas here? If you got gas, you can't complain about the food you got there.
Right.
You chose to get, dude. I've gotten 7-Eleven food before.
Whoa. That's really third party right there.
Yeah, that's the libertarian.
That's the Johnson Johnson of gas station food.
Dude, it gave me blood clots too. So
The CDC does not recommend it.
No, CDC does not recommend 7-Eleven hot dogs at 1 a.m. That's not what they'll say.
Right.
With Philadelphia and like speaking of Pennsylvania in general, PA may have taken a bit of a victory as we see that the Eagles have made it to the Super Bowl.
It's true. Not a victory yet.
Not over yet. Yeah, not yet.
I would say that's a pretty big victory to make it.
Don't do this. Don't do this, Kirk.
No.
What are you doing right now?
So,
what do you do? That was it. That was on purpose. What you're doing?
No, I'm saying that's a pretty slick thing.
Yeah, it's good. It's
I'm
cool,
for him.
It's not there yet. We gotta.
So I'm not as big a football person, so I don't want to jinx anything or anything like that. I'm feeling good about it. But how are you two feeling about this?
Listen, I feel like I'm happy. I'm excited. Nothing was accomplished yet. Nothing. Nothing. No. Getting as a team that just won a Super Bowl a few years ago, getting to the Super Bowl is cool, but we want to win.
Yeah.
Like you. Okay, Kurt. Say you're talking to one of your old flings.
Okay.
Y'all reconnect after 5 years.
Okay.
And you happy with just getting a hug? No, man. You want to. Yeah, I mean, you want a touchdown. You want to score.
Yeah, you want. Yeah.
Does this apply for all flings? I feel like there could be a fling where it's like, yo, you want to see a movie?
No,
the Super Bowl of flings, man.
Right.
Talk about your favorite one, the one that you've been trying to get back to for years and years, but other teams have gotten in your way, and now you finally get a chance, and you're just gonna you want to score, man. You want to hoist the trophy.
Okay.
Right. Exactly. So I was kind of, I understand it, but I was kind of disappointed when I seen so many people like partying in the streets and going crazy. I was like, what are you doing? Not yet. 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
And the Super Bowl itself is what? February 12th?
Next Sunday.
Okay. Are you guys doing anything particular for it?
Dude, yes. Well, so the guys I do my podcast with, Sean, Preston, and Lou Miziano, we've been searching far and wide for a Pizza Hut a red hat Pizza Hut.
Okay.
So we can eat a dine-in Pizza Hut. We found one. And we're going to have dine-in Pizza Hut with the salad bar, the pizza. I can't sound fatter than I do right now. I'm almost more excited for that than the game itself.
That's by chance, is this the Pizza Hut that's in Emmaus?
Fogelsville?
If there's one in Fogelsville, that's even better. But I know there used to be one in Emmaus that I would go to on occasion.
Oh, dude. Well, we've been searching for I've been calling Pizza Huts and asking, do you take dine-in? And they've been breaking our hearts for weeks. Finally find one. Sean was driving somewhere. He saw the red hat. Damn. Goes inside. They got it all, dude. They got all the pies. Have you dined in on Pizza Hut?
I have, yeah. It was nice. They had a buffet if you go there before.
Yes, the buffet. Yeah. And then out there there'll be the run of the mill, the pepperonis, the plains, whatever, your normal status quo pizzas. But then the chef will get crazy back there and he'll make a specialty pizza.
What?
And this is shit not on the list.
Ooh.
These are things you couldn't. It belongs in space is where it does. And they bring it out and it's always awesome. It'll be like olives, chicken tenders, and macaroni and cheese on a pizza.
Oh.
And you're like, damn, my head's gonna explode. And that's what I'm looking forward to.
That's a mystery slice right there.
Yeah,
on my mystery slice, I'd like pineapple, I'd like oregano, I'd like ricotta, and a sprinkle of determination. I would like some determination on my mystery pizza. Yes.
Pineapple and ricotta.
Oh, yeah.
Keep
that sounds terrible, but I like producer Pat said. I've done CC's. I haven't eaten at Pizza Hut in so long, but like CC's, I've done that right when I used to eat cheese. But yeah, I haven't done.
Oh, so are you vegan?
No, I'm not vegan. But I like a lot of vegan.
Starts.
I don't eat a lot. I can't eat a lot. It's like I don't eat pork, beef, dairy. Other than that, I'm good. So,
Is it for health reasons?
I can't eat dairy for shit reasons, and the other two, just don't. I never really, I'm just trying to eat healthier, I guess, beef and pork.
Yeah, I get you.
But yeah, like I'll eat some chicken and some fish and all that. But yeah,
Right.
but that's why I haven't had Pizza Hut in a long time.
I probably still am lactose intolerant, but I just don't. I don't fall. I don't.
You don't care.
I know it hurts me. It hurts every day. I live worse than everyone else because I like cheese. Like I have no idea how good my life could be if I just didn't like cheese, but I can't do it. I need to live worse to have the cheese.
People are doing like those you like the lactate pills or something like that. You do those?
No. I haven't. Back when I was younger, I did, but yeah.
We do a thing here that we're going to get to eventually on the show called goals, and that may be a little foreshadowing of like maybe a little goal could be set.
No, I'm not going to do that, dude.
No.
He said
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to eat cheese till I'm dead.
Damn.
Every day, I'll eat cheese in any shit. Name a way you could serve cheese, and I will eat it that way.
Okay. And we're all proponents of doing you. So if the cheese does you, then do you, player.
The cheese does me. That is the way. Cheese fucks me. It's like that's the best way to put it. I don't eat the cheese. The cheese devours me.
And now before we move forward, I know that the Eagles is like that's a big thing for you. Do you have anything in particular that you plan on doing for the Super Bowl?
I haven't figured it out yet. Like I've been thinking about it. I've been canvassing the online. I haven't figured out yet. I don't want to like settle on nothing and get stuck in something that I want to do. So I'm kind of leaving my options open right now. So
yeah, because the Super Bowl changes completely when your team is in it. Like the Super Bowl is always fun, but when your team's in it, the planning changes. Like I can't figure out if I want to go to like a house or a bar. Because there's like Eagles bars that are probably a lot of fun, but then you're there. A house is a couch. You can the energy might be lower, but there's like more comfort. So I can't. Chill. I'm with you.
So we'll see. Shit, I might end up in Arizona. You never know.
Oh, wow. Wait, why Arizona?
That's where the Super Bowl is at, Kirk. They're playing Super Bowl in Arizona. Next
Kirk's fucking with us. You're messing with us right now.
I thought you were suggesting that's what other team plays. I was like, wait a second, I know about football, and that's not where the other team is from. I was going to correct you.
I'm trying to let you hurt my feelings, Kurt.
Arizona is close to Vegas, Kirk. Let's talk about Vegas.
But Vegas. So we're talking about Vegas. Is there a reason we're talking about Vegas?
Apparently, you were in Vegas. Did you get married when you were in Vegas? Is that what I heard?
Oh my goodness. Well, since we're dipping into conversation on stuff and feeling a little loose and all that, we'll talk about my little detour into Las Vegas, Nevada. I went to Las Vegas with a team last week. Shout out to Ray, shout out to Steve. Got an Airbnb. Did our thing. It was nice. It was wavy. It was better than I expected. Come
on, we want some crazy stories, man. What happened? I don't care about the Airbnb with your homies. What's up? What happened? Tell me the crazy
stuff.
The
Airbnb had a fireplace. That was kind of wild. We didn't expect that. I mean, I guess they expected it. I didn't look at the Airbnb in full detail, but that was nice. I was chilling by the fireplace and a jacuzzi. So I'll spare you details on the Airbnb and that part, but no, it was good, man. If you recall, and Tyler, I may have run this by you. I was very hesitant with this trip. I was referring to this trip as my friends were going to be on Demon Time, and that there wasn't really much out there for me to do in Vegas. It was never really like on my radar of places to go. But eventually I was like, all right, give it a shot, try it, and it was cool.
What were you saying? Like, what was the occasion?
That's the thing. There was no occasion. It was literally just go out there and let these guys be demons. And so
you were right about having a little fear in you. If you go to Vegas for nothing, that's almost scarier than going for something.
Yes, in a lot of ways, right? It's like, oh, well, I guess we're looking for something to do.
Yeah. And it can be found.
Luckily, your boy found some activities prior and all that stuff, and also we were just able to like come across this too.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Yeah. What are these activities?
Oh, you want to hear about the activities?
Yeah.
First off, Meow Wolf Museum, Las Vegas at Area 15. That was nice. That was nice. We started on the second day there. And for those that don't know Meow Wolf, it's like this visual exhibit that's interactive. You go in there and there's
Kirk,
characters.
I think everybody knows what Meow Wolf is.
Really? You'd be surprised.
No, I know. I have no idea what it is.
Oh, okay.
I was like, go ahead and explain it.
No, so Meow Wolf was sick, and that was one of the main incentives that I was like, all right, if I go to Vegas, I get to at least check out Meow Wolf.
Way, dude. No way.
Yeah, man. I've been to one Meow Wolf, but never the Las Vegas one. And you think I'm joking? This was like it was solid. It was nice. It was you go into this one room and it's like all these like mirrors and structures, and then you have like what they call a doctor science. It's just in there observing. Then he just goes up and starts talking to you. It's a whole trip, and I highly recommend it.
Was it crowded in Vegas? I can't imagine it was super crowded in Vegas.
Well, this one we went on a Thursday strategically because I was like, I don't want it to be too crowded. We want to be able to roam around the museum. But it was crowded. Yeah, like throughout the weekend, like people were out there. I think a lot of people choose it. It's like going to like Arizona or Florida in January. It's like, oh, although it was cold. So we were able to do some dessert stuff as well, or desert rather. The other activity we want to line up. The Hoover Dam. We got to see the Hoover Dam.
That is cool.
Nice.
That is nice. That is nice. We rented a car. Went to see the Hoover Dam. Got to see a little bit of just the history of that, and technically go into Arizona for that as well. That was pretty wavy. That was one where we didn't really like. We were like, oh, if we do it, we do it. Then we actually did it, and I'm glad we did. It was one of the highlights of the trip.
Did you get to look over the edge at all?
Yeah. Had my
phone
over
there. Like, how close can you get to the edge?
Yeah.
You could, there's barriers and all that stuff, but you could like look down like into the canals and all that.
Did it cross your mind, be like, what would happen if I jumped?
It more so crossed my mind how many people have jumped.
Okay. Is there an answer?
Like, yeah, so they don't have it like
part of the tour.
Like, it's like a chalkboard that they just like tally and just cross out.
Yeah.
Like no employee injuries in 2 days.
Yeah. No, that's every time I go up somewhere like large, I'm always like, I wonder how many people have like purposely jumped.
Dude, I felt that at Niagara Falls. I'm not like depressed or suicidal, but I'm like, what would happen? Like, could I do it? Could I? Because the people would cheer if I got down there, and they're like, "What?" Mortified, and then I put up a hand. They'd talk about it forever. It'd be like, we were there. ABC News would come. It'd be a whole thing. But then I probably wouldn't make it.
You could plead insanity too if like they try to get any charges. Like, oh no, I was feeling a little rough. It was just a.
No, I would just tell the cops I'm a daredevil. I think they just let you go if you're a daredevil.
I was recording on my iPhone. No, it's part of my special.
Yeah.
That's why Evel Knievel shot that guy in the face and he got away with it. Scott Free. Not true.
Yeah, man. If we're talking spicy, I'll say the spiciest part of the trip of Las Vegas. One, before we got to the spiciness, we went to the Tupac Memorial, like the intersection where Tupac was shot.
Oh,
that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
yeah, that's not, you don't get that like on the Vegas itinerary of like things to do in Vegas. That's something I was just like, this, I think we're near it, and then we were able to find it, so that was pretty cool. And then they always talk about Fremont Street, what they refer to as the old Vegas.
Oh yeah,
we went there, and that was cool. That was nice, crowded. It felt very much like a Times Square feel to it, in terms of like it was like all these lights. Maybe if we turn them off for like 5 minutes, we'll save on electricity in some way and be able to donate that money, but I don't think they will. I went to a cool bar that had like 3 different settings in each room. That was nice. Yeah, I'd say that's the spiciest I got.
That's the spice, is the three-story bar.
Well, in terms of if we want to define spice, I got a $70 steak. I thought that was spicy.
That's pretty spicy for you.
I thought that was pretty. $70 steak on the last one. That was pretty wild. Went to the Bellagio. Shout out to the Bellagio. Overall, my review of Vegas is that I don't know if I need to go again right away. I wouldn't be opposed to doing it. On the last day, it felt very much like, wow, this is a lot of Vegas. It would be nice to be back where the Wawas are at. Overall, I'd give Vegas a good 7.4 out of 10.
Okay, so as long as you didn't end up getting married to a stranger or nothing like that, or got herpes, you're good.
No married. Funny enough, no strip clubs. We didn't do any strip clubs. How about that?
You sure you're in Vegas?
we did more nature than strip clubs. Part of me was like, oh, we need to do something wild that I could report back to the team. Like
No gambling? You didn't gamble at all?
I didn't gamble. No, I got like dice from the Bellagio, so it's like Bellagio dice that they use in the actual games and they sell them. So I got some of those, but not really a gambler. That's what I'm saying. Like Vegas wasn't really like my go-to spot because the go-to activities aren't really my thing as much.
Better, dude.
It was still fun, yeah.
It's not as dangerous if you're not gambling and drinking and
gallivanting. Well, your boy was drinking. Your boy was. Yeah. Oh, before one thing I forget that this happened. I only remembered like 2-3 times now. I bumped into Michael Yo.
Oh,
that'd been nice. Bumped into Michael Yo. We were walking past the Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club, and I was like, oh, and I'm very, very drunk at this time. I was like, oh yeah, let me rum in there. And I see these headlining. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember. I'm telling my boys like, oh yeah, I remember he was. You see him on Chelsea Handler Show all the time, and he just pops up like right next to me when we're in the bar. And I was like, is that Michael Yo? And my dude, he was like, go say something. And I was like, well, I'm gonna go. He's right there. I'm gonna go talk to him real quick. And yeah, nice little interaction. That was pleasant.
Nice. Did you take a Ussy?
Take the Ussy.
Yeah, you took a Ussy.
Oh, like a Ussy photo.
Selfie with you and other people is called a Ussy.
Oh no, I didn't. I did not take a Ussy. I was I broke up. I probably could have. He was nice enough.
Shut up, Mike.
No, he was chill. I was just like I just gave him I was like, yeah, because he was one of those dudes that wasn't really like a stand-up. He was someone that just commentated on that show, then transitioned. So I was like, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool that he did that. He said, oh, he took it very well, and then I went off about my day. Yeah. It was nice.
It's interesting that he, like you said, he didn't start as a stand-up, but then transition over. Yeah. Tyler, is there anything else that you would do in the arts instead of stand-up to get you to stand-up?
Yeah, I think like obviously like that's kind of like what we have to think about now, because just stand-up probably it's harder than I think. You have to have like other avenues. I would like to write a book. I think that would be cool to write a book or like a screenplay. Like I've tried to act and shit. I'm awful. I'm like so bad at acting. It's almost like good. Like how bad I am. Like people will be like, he's trying to be like that, I bet. And I'm not.
He's trying to be so bad.
Yeah. They're like, he's so, oh my God, he's embracing this. I get it. It's like avant-garde. He's being a shitty actor playing. But no, it's just me trying my best. Writing a book would be cool. I think writing a book would be pretty sweet.
Yeah. About what?
I don't know. I don't know. Me and my friend had this idea. He's a chef. We were going to write a cookbook, but it was like a fun, like called Recipes for Disaster. And it was just a recipe for every shitty thing you have to attend. Like a work Christmas party. What do you take to it? This is what you make. It's easy. Or like meeting your girlfriend's parents for the first time, or somebody died. You gotta take. But the problem is like I don't know if you guys go through this. Do you have like you get like these ideas, and they're like the easy part is the idea, right?
Yeah,
like that's the easy part. But the follow through is the hard part, obviously. And so there's so many things wrong. Like, we should do this, and I just never do it. Yeah. Or I like start it and I don't finish it. I think finishing shit is like the hardest thing to do in this world.
They say starting is hard, not finishing is way harder.
Yeah, exactly. What about you guys? What about you?
I wanted to address what you said there about starting and finishing and stuff. I think what happens that I found out for myself is once I vocalize it and share with other people, I get the same satisfaction as if I actually completed it.
Yep.
So it's like I'm tricking. So what I do nowadays, like there's things I want to do, I don't tell anybody. Like I was like, because once I do, it tricks myself to thinking like I feel better. Like, oh, I told them they thought it was a good idea. I feel good about it, and I never follow through. So I kind of hold it close to my heart until it's like there. You know what I mean?
That's because sometimes people are like, if you tell people, they'll hold you accountable to finish it, but that never works.
No,
they don't care. Nobody gives a shit.
No.
So I think your way is better because I do the same thing. I'll be like, I want to do this, and people will be like, yeah, it's great, and then I just get away from it,
You feel like you did it when you told them.
Exactly.
One thing I would say we got to credit ourselves with too is that like as people that like make a lot of things, we throw a lot of ideas out in terms of like we're generating a lot of ideas. So if we look at percentage of like ideas that are generated versus ideas that may have gone stagnant or ideas that are completed, our percentage or volume rather is going to be a lot higher. So like, consider that as well. Like Tyler, I've seen you have a whole album. Like like, that's a pretty big thing to complete.
Yeah.
I hate that.
You hate that sentiment.
That was, well, I hate the whole album, but that's like one of those things where I did it, and when it was done, I was like, shit, I can't quit now. Like I have like, because I'll just be like a substitute teacher with a comedy album, and like kids will find out and bully me, and I can't, or like have a day job, and then they find out that I did stand up, and they're like, no, here's this album, and then I'll have to kill everybody there, and I'm in prison for life. So
all because he didn't want to delete it.
All because Glenn Tickle talked me into recording an album.
Shout out to Glenn.
Shout out to Glenn. But I would try to get into acting. Like I've been trying to like stick my toe in acting. Like it's funny because I actually today I opened up in the mail. I got I guess it's a W-4, W-9, whatever the tax thing you get from companies you work for. I did like 2 background roles this year. I cannot remember the name of the projects. So if y'all see me just background acting anywhere, let me know because I have no idea who it's for. And the letter I got in the mail just says the company that cut the check. It doesn't say like, oh, this is the film.
You could have been on an episode of Grey's Anatomy for all you know.
I think it was something on Netflix. I think, I don't know. It was just a background.
I was in a Netflix movie as a cop one time.
That doesn't surprise me.
Dude, I got such cop face, and
you got typecasted.
Yeah. But dude, it was so funny because like, and I took it because I wanted to see what happens. Like I wanted to see the whole process. Like it interested me to like, and so I got casted. It's a movie. It's only played in Latin America. It's about a immigrant that comes to America, and I'm the one of the cops that but I specifically in the email was like, yo, I'm not being in some like anti-immigration propaganda. So do I have to say something racist? I don't want that. Okay. I don't want my first lines as an actor to be like something so shitty. But dude, I almost got fired because when I went to this is so embarrassing. When I went to the fitting for the cop suit, I was and then like we shot like 3 months later, I got fatter. So my cop suit didn't work, didn't fit. So it was like a big ordeal. And then dude, so it was in New York City, and the real cops, like we were like in the NYPD gear, and I was driving a car. Dude, and so the real cops had to be there. They like freaked out on us. Like, I almost got arrested for impersonating a cop.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I swear to God, dude. He tried to shut the shoot down. He's like, if this guy is dressed like a cop for another 10 minutes, I'm arresting him for impersonating a cop. And I'm like, yo, I'm not getting arrested for this for $100. I'm not going to jail for this shit. So let's wrap this up.
You're just in a cop outfit that you're not sure about how it fits and all that stuff. Like, oh no.
I couldn't wear the belt. I couldn't even wear the belt. I had no gun. I had no gun on me. It looked like I had just been robbed by teens of my gun.
You're gonna be sitting in the intake room in a jail cell, looking like a disappointment. Like,
yeah. It looked like I was a cop. Like they had to talk to the chief and like embarrassed about getting my belt and gun taken from me.
God damn it, Rothrock again.
Yeah, I took it off when I ate at Applebee's, and I think I forgot it there. I got full on wings.
Have you ventured off into? You mentioned you're acting and all that stuff. What other kind of roles have you done?
So Chris Freed, we kind of wrote.
Shout out to Chris.
Yeah, shout out to Chris. He wrote a sitcom. It's a sitcom, and we kind of filmed it. We're filming all the episodes ourselves. So I play a character named Randy. Randy Dunga is his name.
Dunga. All right.
A little homage to Randy Tongue. Yeah, so I'm just like, I basically play a guy who didn't leave his hometown and still relives the glory days. So not far from who I am as a person anyway. So just basically me with a Letterman jacket on.
You got a little glorious background behind you. It looks very cozy. It looks like you're in an Airbnb right now.
Yeah, I am. This is someone's home.
Whoa.
I'm not sure, but they do have Wi-Fi here, so hopefully they don't come home and find me in their bedroom. I don't know whose home this is.
Now you, Kirk, though, what do you want to do, Kirk, outside of stand up to take you to the next level?
Battle rap.
Knew it.
Battle rap.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah, no, it would be that. In terms of like artistic endeavors, yeah, battle rap. I think that'd be cool. I think
I know, there's comedians that I know that actually do battle rap too.
That do battle rap or like
shout out to Reggie Edwards. Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Chico Beans.
Chico too. He does it, right?
I say that because my boy, I've never met Chico Beans, but credit to him because he does do both. I was writing rhymes just yesterday, man. With that, I hope not to speak prematurely. Do you guys want to get in some goals? My goal for this one, and I may need to be held to this one. I want to have it be where I write a 16-bar verse per month.
Okay.
Per month. Didn't do it in January, but I want to start it in February. After my yearly challenge is wrapping up in February now, so now I need a new challenge, and this could be the challenge right there. So have a new 16 each month. Who knows what I'm going to do with it? Maybe hit the streets with it. Maybe just have it transcribed. But that's something that I'd like to do. 16.
You could upload that. As an album.
SoundCloud it.
Record some tracks.
I'll get the beats and such. I may, in true battle rap fashion, I may just hit the streets with it. I may just like find a side
Sans Beats.
Sans Beats. Yeah, Sans Beats. Yeah, that may be my name. That may be a name. Sans Beats. And it's just like
Sans Beats.
It's all acapella. Sans Beats. So that's. I'll Google local Philadelphia hip hop cipher for kids. I'll go there with my pen and pad, and then I feel pretty good about that.
Hell yeah.
Hip hop cipher for kids. Okay, cool. So I'll go next. This is a goal I had. I wanted to do it for Black History Month, but I dropped the ball. I had too much to do. But I'm gonna do it. This is the goal. My original goal was to every single day put out like a 30-second stand-up clip of me doing jokes about Black history stuff. That was the goal, right? I want to do it every single day. First of all, I don't have enough jokes.
In front of a live crowd too?
Yeah, I was going to do it but I should start planning this in like December, now that I think about it. But what I'm going to do is moving forward though, I got some big shows coming up. I'm going to do that. I'm going to record and put out the clip from the Black history jokes that I have and put it online. Like I just want to do something like, I don't think no other comedians are doing that. You see comedians like doing like reaction videos or like holding the camera to their face, but nobody's really like doing any Black history content and putting it out online from the stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that's something I want to do. So today I got
so hard to get because you have to like, unless you're doing and like not just Black history bits, but the whole idea of like putting content online is the hardest thing of this, I think.
Yes.
It's so hard to do because I don't know if you guys go through this. You hate it, right? You're like, damn, this feels weird.
Yes.
Everybody's doing it. And then it's just hard to get enough stuff. It's hard to get enough stuff where you're like, well, I could do this regularly because you don't want to do it like once, but go, here's my good bit of the month.
Right.
So, dude, that's a great goal to have.
Yeah.
And, when it's a thing that's so important to you and so like, you don't see many people doing that.
Yeah, and I think the concept of using like a Black history stuff, this stuff is not part of my regular set. You know what I mean? So that's stuff that I can specifically write. Like it don't take much to write a fact and a joke or two about it, whatever. So I think that'll give me something. So I ain't got to keep throwing away my good material that I've been working for years on. I can use this, get it out. I don't know, just something I'm gonna do. But today I'm gonna record. I got a couple jokes I'm gonna record today. So
if there's an adjustment in this, and obviously like whatever you do, I'm sure it's gonna be like solid. But if you do it without a crowd, like say if you write jokes and then like are able to like do like a you're in your room, you have a background there and you're doing it, do you think that would work as well?
So last year on Martin Luther King Day, this is where I got the idea from. I did that. I had a microphone and my mic stand, and I was like on a roof in Brooklyn. It was like, and I did like a joke about Martin Luther King. It was cool and all, but like, I may could do that again, but I think having the audience there hit harder. Like it's just,
Mm.
I don't know. Like I can do that too. I've done it, but I think that having the audience is probably more what I want to do. Like,
does it count if it's a mixed or all white audience? Does the audience have to be black?
you know, it don't matter to me. They gonna laugh regardless. People is people. It don't.
Yeah.
It don't matter. So if it's white people, it's great because most of the shit is about them anyway. Most of the jokes I've been writing is like black people invented this. How could y'all have a head start and not think of that? You know what I mean? It's like the fucking pencil sharpener, the handheld pencil sharpener that we all use in school was created by a black man. How could we invent a pencil sharpener and we weren't even allowed to read and write? Y'all had what were y'all doing before we came along? Just throwing pencils away?
Dude, that's dude, but it's funny. Like if you think about it in that way, like black history as it pertains to white history in that time period, white people are like should not be happy about their time period, and
right.
Like the white history is not that good. Like how did you like? You're just there reading and writing and not thinking of that, you fucking idiot.
They were just throwing pencils away every day.
That's
right.
Great. Just bin of dull pencils. That's wild.
So if it's a white audience, that's great too. So
yeah.
That's the goal.
Tyler, do you have any goals that come to mind for whether it be this year, this month, or dare I say this week?
Well, Alan took my idea, so I guess I'm gonna do it. No, so I've been doing some like therapy work. Like I've been seeing a therapist about this. You know, I'm 35. I have some career, like where I'm at in my career, I'm not thrilled about. So I have some like, I don't know. It's like kind of like it's confidence stuff, right? So we talk a lot about goal work, and my problem sometimes is that I look too global and too big picture on my goals, where I'll be like, I need to have a new album in whatever, or a new 50 minutes, something like where I can easily be disappointed in myself on the day-to-day pursuit of that. So I do a lot of goal work on day-to-day goals where my goal is tomorrow I got to get up and get to the coffee shop for 2 hours and write for 2 hours,
right,
or 3 hours. And I got to get that done. And it doesn't matter if I get good shit out of it. I just got to do it and get in the habit of doing that. So my goal work, I've been like trying to be more goal oriented in the short term than long-term stuff.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask you too about, because you just saw Birbiglia one-man show, right?
Right.
And I'm sure it was awesome.
That was at the Lincoln Center. Yeah, that was cool.
I have an idea. I kind of want to do like an hour of a one-man show. And I want to film, get that where I would be able to record it, you know, hopefully by the summer or something.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's a different, because I've started writing it. I've done a couple of shows about it. It's it feels like a different muscle in a way. So, yeah.
How would you describe it differently from your stand-up? What part of the muscle is different for you?
Well, I think it's a little slower, right? Like where it's not pumped full of laughs, or that's not the focus when you're writing it. Like when we're writing jokes, we're like, I want people to be laughing, right, the whole time. But this feels more like, you know, you want to. The emphasis is on the what you're saying more than it being super funny. You want to get to the funny. I have to get out to see people like Birbiglia do it because they do it so great. I don't know. Like, does it feel like a comedy set? Is it like constant laughter?
It's constant laughter, but it's not a stand-up comedy set. And this is like, I would say the same for like guys like Chris Gethard too, where it's like you're telling a story, and like to an extent, like even like Kyle Kinane as well. Like you're telling a story, and there's not like the suspension of like, oh, am I going to laugh? Am I going to laugh? It's more of a suspension of like, oh, where's the story going to go?
Gotcha.
And you just happen to laugh along with those and feel other emotions too.
Yeah. So I guess that's kind of like what I'm trying to figure out, you know?
Yeah.
And, I think I don't know if it's something that I'll stick with, but I think trying to do that, it might help my stand-up be more autobiographical and, where you're more story stuff, more, because like if I think of like the people I really, really like in stand-up, and I've thought a lot about that lately, it was like, what is it about these people that I really like actually? Like, sure, they're funny, but what is it actually? It's all, you know them. Like they're talking about themselves and like, even like a guy like Dave Chappelle back, he was my favorite, like his early, like Killing Them Softly, those specials, they were like kind of like false premises, right? They weren't like exact of his life, but they were a story. Yeah. And they had a linear progress that you could follow.
And you got to know a bit about his tone.
And even got like, I just saw Nate Bargatze's new one. It's the same thing, and like he's just who he is, and he talks about that. And like I kind of think, damn, imagine how easy it would be to, once you figure out, maybe I guess all in all, that's my goal. Yes. Who you are, like that's my goal, is I want to figure out who exactly I am. I think once you nail that, that's the hardest part of this to nail.
Yeah. I think for me, so I think I only try to talk about myself. Like when I try to create, like if I like Google, if I see it, go on CNN looking up current events and try to write a joke based on that to use, I'll forget it. Yeah. It don't seem genuine. But like when I'm telling jokes about my life, there's stories I've been telling before I was a comedian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this happened. So it's easier for me to like remember stuff. It seems more authentic. People feel like they know me. Like I never really like learn how to write jokes. I just learned how to talk about my life. So like,
well, Alan, you're one of those comics that people like, you could look at, and I've had that thought about you. You're like, that you know who you are. Like it doesn't take you long being up there. Like in a 10-minute set, people can find that. And I think that's that's a huge advantage, and that's my ultimate goal, is like, because then that build, you can build confidence off that. And like, you're just certain of who you are. You write for who you are. You don't have to be like, oh, well, the politicians, like nobody gives a shit about that. Nobody cares about that.
Yeah.
That's how I sound when I talk about politics too.
Yeah. Trying to find some clever take. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. I don't know. I think that I feel like everybody should talk about themselves. I had a conversation with a fucking guy the other day who was talking about how he was just like, jokes can last forever. Like when you're writing about, like, I don't know, you wrote jokes about George Floyd, like eventually they're going to be too old to use. But like, if I write a joke about my daughter, like she's always gonna be my daughter, and I could probably tell this joke forever if I wanted to.
Yeah, yeah.
It just makes my life easier to talk about myself. It just makes it, because I try to remember things, and I like just write about current. I just can't. Like, I don't know. I don't know how people do it. Honestly, you gotta have a great memory to not talk about yourself and still go do like an hour of jokes. I don't know how.
Yeah. I think, and you also just like getting to know yourself more and being able to tap into yourself also helps you if you have a style that is a little bit more like abstract sort of thing. Like, say like if it's more like a Mitch Hedberg, Todd Barry sort of thing. Yeah. Like, even if they're not necessarily talking about themselves, they know themselves enough to know what truly identify, like what weird concept is going to resonate with them. It's not just like, oh, I'm just looking at a pillow, I'm going to make a joke. It's like, oh, I'm going to talk about a couch because perhaps I just got a couch or something like that.
Right.
You're going to be able to tap in a bit more. And that's a journey that I'm still on myself. So may all of us do well in that and those endeavors.
It's a good goal. It's definitely
a good goal. It's frustrating, but the moments of like aha moments, or like the moments you feel good, do feel really, it feels good when you're like in the pocket, and you're feeling real good on stage and you're having fun. There's like nothing better than that. And then you see people doing like one-liners that I don't know if they ever get to that same feeling as I get. Maybe they do. I don't know. Yeah. But like when you're up there kind of totally exposing yourself and it's going really well, there's like few better feelings on earth than that. Eagles Super Bowl probably is one of them, but
right. Nothing better than Eagles Super Bowl victory. I got 2 kids, and the greatest day of my life is still when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. That's like
glorious day. When we speak of comedy and all that, I feel like we've all had our turns of either like running rooms or just being in rooms where maybe some of the newer comics have been exploring and trying new things out. Something I want to run by both of you is sometimes we'll be, whether it be an open mic or even a show, and someone's mic will be cut off. Whether it's because they said something kind of wild or they went over their set. I wanted to know, do you think it's ever okay to cut a comic's mic off?
Only time I've seen it done is when I've done the Helium's competition and you went over your time, and on the rules it says if you go over your time, we're gonna cut your mic off. Like that's the only time I've ever seen it done. I mean, I haven't seen it done because somebody said something wild. I've never seen that, so I don't think that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I've seen it happen lately at a couple mics around here, and I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't think people should say terrible shit. You know, like the only time when I ran a mic, there's 2 times that somebody said the N-word, and I was like, "You're done. Like you got to chill for a little bit," and they got punished. And then the other time, the guy brought bleach on stage, and I thought he was going to drink it. Like
were you there that night?
That was it. That was at Brewworks. Were you there?
So sorry, I didn't.
He might have done this bit multiple times.
He did it
just
multiple
traveling.
times. I saw him do
the thing was
gallery,
he had the
gallery.
He had the thing, the peel. He
took it off.
So then I was like hosting the mic, and I'm like, damn, he's got bleach up there, and he pulled off like the protector. That's got to be new bleach. And then he started drinking it, and then I'm like, yo. He's like, no, I put the thing back on. I'm like, okay, you got to let me know that you're not committing suicide at the open mic.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember the guy's name, but he did it at the gallery. It was by I think like Jesse Kime was hosting or something like that. That's funny because Jesse came up to myself and our comic and was like, that guy has bleach and he's going to drink it. Or he said something like, that guy's going to kill himself tonight. And we're like, oh, that's weird. Then we're at the actual thing, and he does exactly that. He says a slew of just really sad things about like his weight, about women, it wasn't necessarily the most humorous. You could tell he was just aiming to be gloomy, sort of thing. And then he's like, says some line. I was like, oh well, if my stomach could handle this McDonald's, it could probably handle this bleach. And then he pulls the lid off and then chugs it. We're all like, oh.
Yeah.
A girl in the crowd starts crying. It was either on Mother's Day or on some woman's birthday, because she kept saying like, not on this day, not on this day.
She made it about her.
Yeah.
She made his suicide about her.
Women.
You're not going to kill yourself on my birthday.
Yes. He pretty much got like pushed out of the room. I gave him a little clap because I was like, it was everyone was in shock. The person I was with at the time, she wrote like a whole post about it. Keen went up and tried to perform stand up after it. It was a wild moment, but it sounds like it was the same person.
But I don't know, like censoring somebody, it doesn't seem like if you're at a comedy open mic, the goal is to make somebody laugh, right? And and I think Patrice said it. It's like if they're pursuing humor, if they're trying to be funny, they should be able to say it. Now, the punishment is the bomb.
Right.
If the joke doesn't work, that's the ultimate. Getting your mic cut off and the inappropriate thing or whatever, the person in control of the mic or the light that cuts you off, they're the ones determining who is to be outraged and what's offensive. So if that person, I guess I'll tell the story. There was a local mic, and somebody went on stage and said a joke. They said, "I'm not trying to be racist. He's like, I'm not racist, but I don't let my girlfriend watch, or no, he's like, I don't watch black guys in porn because I don't want to become racist." It's a bad joke, right?
That's not terrible.
It's not terrible. It's just kind of like maybe, if anything, a little hacky,
Yeah.
he got the mic cut off.
Oh,
And
I forgot.
yeah, so now what that does is that person doesn't learn that their joke stinks, right? They think their joke is too edgy.
Right.
And now they still can be like, well, that place just doesn't like my material because it's too edgy. It's like, no, the material stinks. You got to just be better. And they might not learn that lesson as quick if you're like censoring open mics, you know?
I agree. I feel like it hurts the room
Mm-hmm.
too, of just like having those parameters set up, because I think that is very much the case. Like if a joke doesn't work, the consequence is just that, the joke not working.
Yeah.
And we don't need to really rely so much on the room policing it. I feel so. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I don't know if it's, I think extreme cases where someone is provoking violence in some sort of way. Where that's worthy of like maybe taking the spotlight off of them. With words, not so much. I think almost more so if they're going over time, because that's like consideration for other people in the room. But in terms of the content of what you're saying, I think just especially at an open mic, let them do their thing, and then just go to an open mic knowing like, oh yeah, it's an open mic. It's open to everyone. And not everyone's going to have like a solid set. Some people are going to go up there and say some radical, crazy things.
Yeah, that's the place where you should go. Because even myself, like, and all of us, like, we've been doing this for a while, but we still need a place to go to like take a swing, you know,
right?
And, like, throw some wild shit at the wall, because you don't want to do that at Helium,
right?
You know, where like you got to be funny. So can I go to a mic and bomb with something, some wild theory? You know, if it's hurting people's feelings, that's one thing. But like, you know, you gotta have some kind of place to go where
I can do this, where I got to get this out here. Let me get this out in front of these 12 people. So these
none of them are comics that are doing the same shit. So, but I do think like, you know, newer comics, there, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but like people that just started, there seems to be more people doing things a little bit more racist or like homophobic or something when they first start, because I think there are like this influx of like comedians that are pretty popular that kind of toe those lines a little bit. Might be saying things that they agree with, but it's being done by like a seasoned professional, and a lot of times it doesn't work when they do it, right? So the new people, I sometimes they just do shocky stuff and try to like get people all riled up when they don't have like the skills set to actually make it work. There's something to be said about that too.
I think it's a lot. I think a lot of like, I'm sure it's risen over the last few years, but I remember when I started, that was a thing too. And that's something you see it. A lot of times people, they'll go up and more so aim to get a reaction versus a laugh. It's like, all right, I'm going on stage and talking to a room full of people. What is something that could be captivating? And a lot of times in people's heads, it's like, okay, well, it could be something shocking. Or if I have the prototype of other comics I've seen successfully say shocking things, I'm going to aim for that. I think a lot for many people, I'll include myself in that category, because I definitely did a lot of that when I first started. I think it kind of wears off after a while. Like you kind of, it's like you kind of unless you end up honing in that style, which sure, if you do, but a lot of times you just kind of go towards a different direction once you start seeing other types of comedy, whether it be at those mics or at shows.
That's what I was going to say. I think that after a certain amount of time, they'll be out of that shocking shit and trying to find the fun.
Exactly.
If they're not, comedy's going to weed them out anyway. But,
exactly.
You know, I think people got to go through that. I don't think you should shut off anybody's mic at open mic for something they said. I don't think so. I think people got to go through that. People got to bomb. People got to get better. If they want to keep bombing every day, then they'll just be at the open mic forever. You know
there's no like comedy. There's politics and comedy, and like we could talk for hours and hours about how certain people make it in the industry for whatever reason. And at a certain level, you get to the meritocracy kind of goes away, right? But there's no more pure form of meritocracy than an open mic, a comedy open mic.
Yeah.
Funny things go, the rest doesn't. Like because nobody's there making it. Nobody's there like
No
you're not
agents in the
advancing.
background, sort of thing.
Yeah. So you're just that's that moment. If something's funny, you'll get a chuckle. If not, you won't. And that's if you're going to a stand-up comedy open mic to offend people and to get people mad, it might work a couple times, but then the third time you come, people aren't going to get offended by you. They're just gonna be like, this dickhead. Like,
Right. Exactly.
Oh, I agree with Alan.
Yeah, man.
We coming up here. Kirk, you had put in the chat something about Chinese surveillance. Is something that you wanted to touch on? Because I don't know what the hell that was about.
Yeah, that was something I was like, if we talk about it. But yeah, there's, I guess yesterday they found a balloon over, I believe it was in Montana. Montana, Missouri. I'm pretty sure Montana, but maybe in Missouri now. One of them. They found a balloon going through the sky, and then they suspected that it's a Chinese surveillance balloon, and they don't think it's a threat. They just think that it's up there, perhaps amongst there with the satellites, as Tyler mentioned. When we see stuff like this, when we see that there's a surveillance, I don't want to say clear evidence of it because I have not fact checked it this morning to say that it's most definitely a Chinese surveillance balloon. But when we see surveillance, whether it be on our phones or in a balloon in the sky, are we more wary, or do we feel desensitized to it? Do we feel like we're always being watched? So what's the difference if a balloon is doing it?
Yeah, I feel like we're always being watched, and also I have nothing to hide, so China can look at whatever they want. Like,
Yeah.
I love the people that are like, man, it's like we're not being watched. You're volunteering all of your information every day, all day.
Right.
Like you go on social media, all we do is tell people, everybody that wants to know what we're doing, how we're feeling,
our location.
Our location. Yeah. What do you mean we're being watched? You're telling everybody what you're doing.
Right. Yeah, so China can look at anything they want. All I got to do is log into my Facebook.
Yeah. Just look up, dude. And I think like the algorithm, like my TikTok algorithm, I don't think anything on earth knows me quite like my TikTok algorithm. Like actually knows me. Like even it knows me more than my best of friends. Because you're so honest with it. Like that thing knows everything about me. It knows what I like. It knows what I hate.
Is that going to be like a game show at some point? Maybe made by TikTok? Like who knows you more? TikTok or your significant other?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'll have a friend like show me a video, like a snowboard video. Like, you like this? I'm like, dude, that's awesome. I don't think it's awesome. TikTok, like, do you want to see this weird boat in the middle of just this speedboat going fast? Yeah, show me that all day, dude.
Going fast.
We gotta check in later today and see how of the three of us if we get any speedboat videos, because my phone's here. And they definitely, there's times where it's like it picks up on things. I'm like, okay, that was from earlier in the day, and now I'm seeing it on Reddit. How did that happen?
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. Man. One thing we wanted to do, we got the time for it. Todd, we mentioned before we do another segment called Prop Suggestions, where we recommend to the people concepts and just things that we suggest to them. And with that, let's get into prop suggestions. I'll break this off with a quick one. My prop suggestion is going to be Stephen Bachman, aka Stephen King. He has a short story called Rage. Created in 1978, very hard to find. That actually they stopped publishing it shortly after the Columbine shootings and a few other shootings because it pertains to just a school shooting. It's a very rare find. Was able to complete it yesterday. Enjoyed it. It was good. It's not like his best work, but just kind of like the aura around it of it being kind of like a not banned book, but one that's very difficult to find. And story wise, it was solid as well. I recommend it. So those that are able to find it, Rage by Stephen Bachman.
I was about to say, you said it's hard to find. How are you gonna find it?
Well, you go on Amazon and pay like $500 for it, or you could have a friend that has a collector's copy, lets you borrow it. You gotta do some navigation with this.
Anybody listen to this and you want to read that, just DM Kirk. He'll take pictures. He'll send it to you. Take pictures of it and DM it to him.
I'm going to take 127 pictures and send it to you. Actually, that's not a bad gamble right there. Like, just get a rare book, take photos of it and sell it for like $20 each.
Yeah, there you go, half off.
Oh, I shouldn't be telling people about my plans. Yeah, that's wild.
All right, here you go. I got my suggestion. This is something I owe an apology because I used to hate. I owe an apology to Kale. Okay, I owe Kale an apology.
Oh,
I remember I made a post on a cardboard sign years ago, and it said, "How to eat kale." Throw in the trash.
Yeah.
But I've discovered kale, man, recently, and I got a recipe that anybody that don't like kale, you should try it. It's really good for you. It's very healthy. And what I do is, right, I just take some kale out the bag, put it in a bowl, sprinkle some oil on it, right? A little bit of salt, garlic powder, maybe cut up some red onion, and you just take the kale and you do like this with your hands like it's Play-Doh. You just and that shit be so delicious, bro. I had no idea kale was so good until recently. all needed was a little bit of salt. That's all I need.
Huh.
I'm telling you, bro.
I'm glad you discovered that, Kale.
You might have swayed me because I'm not saying I'm anti-kale, but I haven't met much kale that I was fond of in my day.
That was me. That was me until I seen this recipe, and my girl did it. She put like raisins and salt and garlic powder and onions, and I was like, oh, this is good. Like, it don't just taste like nasty ass dressing for a side of a plate. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's you gotta put some like pad thai in there. Like peanut sauce.
Yeah,
that'd be good too.
That sounds good. So that's my suggestion. Eat some kale.
Yeah, shout out to kale. Yeah.
So this is like a product that you think people should get.
Anything. Right? So like I know most of the time I usually do like TV shows. I'm like, oh, check out this show or check out this comedy special. Or
yeah.
But or sensation. Like if it's like
happiness. I suggest people feel happiness.
That's that's a real thing you can do. Yeah.
I mean, let me try to think. So I'll do one that's kind of not serious, but I mean it. You guys ever have one of these things? It's like a head scratcher where you go like this and it scratches your head.
Yeah.
Talking about there's prongs on it. It's like prongs.
Yeah, it's like the metal prongs. They separate. Yeah.
Okay, get them. Those are sick.
That's a good
Somebody sent me one of those. I was like, kind of like. This is kind of corny. Like it feels like an old person's like thing. Dude, I'll be like watching like every night. I'll just be like going like this on myself, like for hours. Feels good.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion right there. I might have to look at that.
I have one like Kurt, you said a book. There's a book that I like. Kind of coincides with this what we were saying earlier about like figuring out who we are, like telling stories, being more autobiographical and stand-up. It's a book. George Saunders is this writer.
Oh, and, yeah.
He used to be a professor at Syracuse in Russian literature. And he has this book where he analyzes like Russian literature and talks about why the stories are so good. Like he'll like show you like a short story from like, Tolstoy or something. And, you take like 4 or 5 different writers, and then you'll read the story, and then he'll go back and tell you why it is you were so focused and what was so good about, moving the story forward. It's like pretty informative.
Oh, George Saunders.
What's it
called? Swim in the pond in the rain.
Swimming in the pond in the rain.
No, a swim in the pond in the rain. Yeah. So that's cool. It's not the easiest read, and like I'm not like I don't read good, so like it takes me a long time to read. But if I can retain the info, most people can.
That's solid suggestion, man.
I like that. I don't read good because I understand exactly what you mean. Like you know how to read, but just getting through a whole book is just like
like I'll be like looking at the words, and I don't know if like it's my narcissism, but I'll be like reading the thing, and I'll be still looking at the words, but I'll be thinking about my own life, and like a thought that the words reminded me of.
Yeah.
So I'm like still looking at the turning pages, but just thinking about my own life. It's like, this isn't reading. Is it? Is this reading?
It is. I think so. That's my thought with it. Like we could spend hours getting lost in our phones and all that stuff, but to get lost in a book based off like a thought or a word that was presented to us, that's a different type of like reflection.
True.
Yeah. I'm a slow reader. It takes me forever with things. So I hear you on that. I think George Saunders, he did some like a book called like December 10th or something like that.
Yeah, he did like liberation game or something like that too.
I'm gonna check that one out.
Books out there. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Nice, cool, man. Well, with that, this brings us to the conclusion of Proper Ebonics with Tyler Rothrock. Tyler, thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you, guys. Anytime. Thanks. And we're gonna get you on Night Moves. Both.
Yeah, man. Do it. And with that, if you want to share for the people where they can find you, a little bit more about like Night Moves, is there anything you want to let the people know about?
Night Moves is a podcast. It's on all platforms. It's probably the dumbest hour you'll spend on the internet. Nice. But it's fun. We do a live show every month at Emmaus Theater, and then just at Tyler Rothrock. I'm doing stand-up wherever they allow me, and
they won't be shutting off his mic. Yeah. Well, nice. Thanks for joining us, man. We really appreciate
guys. This is awesome.
Yeah, man. Cool. Well, thanks for listening. Remember to like, subscribe, and check out Meow Wolf if you're in Las Vegas or in Colorado. You're going to have a dandy time with your boys. You're going to have a very dandy time. Peace.
All right, we're out of here. Peace.